Good evening, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's morning, probably afternoon for some of you over on the East Side. This is Asshole Consulting. Dan writes. Just came across an article by James Altucher or Altucher. I don't know. I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly. Describing living in Airbnbs for a year. It seemed like such a rich guy disconnected from reality thing that I was wondering a bit about the guy behind the idea. He's a thought leader. No. That is no. There are no life coaches. There are no thought leaders. There's only people who are different, and some other people listen to them. But I will never put there are no storytellers or thought leaders. Those are people without jobs, or in this guy's case, a lot of money. So before someone else gets taken in by anything he suggests, I like you to give him the once over to see if he's legit. Well, if he's legit in doing that, I don't know if the Clarey test is what you want me to apply. The Clarey test is to see if somebody should run for office. Spoiler alert, I already took a peek at his Wikipedia page, and while I have an opinion, but I think the entertainment value alone of your opinion would be worth a free video fee. Free video. Oh, I almost said the F word. James Altucher is an American hedge fund manager, author, podcast, and entrepreneur who's co-founded over 20 companies. He has published 20 books. He's the contributor to publications including the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal, TechCrunch, and the Huffington Post. Graduated from Cornell with a bachelor's degree in computer science in 1989. All right, that's legit. First job after graduating was the IT department at HBO. One time, Alty baby. Hosted an MBO program, 3 a.m. In 98, Altucher left HBO, sold the company, founded Reset for approximately $50 million, and used the proceeds to fund new internet investments. Altucher has said he began this period with $15 million and lost it all in 2 years, which led him to reevaluate his approach to both business and life. During this time, Jim Cramer of TheStreet.com hired him to write about stocks, and Altucher began trading for hedge funds. From 2002 to 2005, he traded for several hedge funds, and from 2004 to 2006, he ran a fund of hedge funds. 2006, Altucher founded the financial social network Stock Picker. The website was named one of Time Magazine's. Well, then you know it's going to succeed. If all those geriatrics at Time Magazine. Time Magazine's 50 best websites of 2007. Altucher sold the company for $10 million in 2007. In 2017, this is 10 years later, he began advising on cryptocurrency investing. That's the wrong word. You do not invest in cryptocurrency. You are speculating or hedging against inflation. Despite having condemned Bitcoin in 2013 as a fad or a scam or a Ponzi scheme or worse, however, then he didn't understand it. In May of 2013, he built a store to sell his book, Choose Yourself, for Bitcoin a month before he released it on Amazon. He was interviewed by Business Insider about why he reversed his stance on Bitcoin. Altucher was a seed investor in Buddy Media, which he later sold to Salesforce for $745 million in 2012. Now, the question is, did he just quit? Did James quit while he was ahead? Altucher launched a podcast with Stephen Dubner, co-author of Freakonomics, called Question of the Day, based on questions from Quora. He hosts the James Altucher Show, which has featured Tim Ferriss, Mark Cuban, Ariane Huffington, among others. Author of 20 books. Personal life, co-owner of Stand Up New York, where he also performs stand-up comedy. He's a chess master with an ELO rating of 2,204. Well, I mean, to apply the test, I don't know if he came from wealth. I'm going to assume he did, because you just don't hey, can I come work for you guys? I'm a hedge fund manager. You know who else worked in hedge funds? Hillary Clinton's daughter at 26. So he majored in the right thing. He's been doing nothing but real work. Sounds like fun work, but it's real work. So he has nothing but private sector experience. He keeps working today. I guess the only thing is, did he come from wealth? Let's look up his bio. Here, let's go. It's more recent. Unpublished novels. I just kind of want to know about his parents. Choose Yourself, national bestseller. James Altucher, childhood. Why James Altucher only owns 15 things. Okay, so he's a minimalist. I like that. Oh, no, I'm not paying for you, New York Times. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. Must include childhood. Why would I type childhood if I didn't want it, Google? Why would I do that? I accidentally typed childhood? Humble beginnings. How can your childhood... I failed to prevent my kid from going to to college. Author of the Good Man Project. 7 pieces of advice. James Altucher's parents. Did you want to include parents? Entrepreneurship. Forbes. Parent icons. My Jewish father. Okay, hang on. My Jewish father had that expressed, and the price of security is insecure. I remember that. You know what? I'm just going to assume I could be wrong, and James, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to assume he came from wealth. In part, yes, because his dad was Jewish, and he had a very poignant financial saying there. But you just don't go to Cornell and then work for HBO and get like deals at hedge funds when you're still in your... He had connections, so I'm going to assume he came from wealth. So that's about the only point he's got going against me. Again, footnote, asterisk, may not be true. Could have come up poor. Who knows? But otherwise, I mean, yeah, he's got a 3. Would I like to have a beer with him? Yeah, I would. Do I think he should run for office? Yeah, he's perfectly qualified. Yeah, I'd have no problems with him. I don't know if I'd vote for him, but he certainly has enough experience in work and business that I think he knows there's no such thing as a free lunch. But you're more like, is he legit? It seemed like such a rich guy disconnected from reality thing that I wondered a bit about the guy behind the idea. Give him a voiceover. He's legit. Well, look, he made his money. He sold it for what, $745 million. I hope he kept his money. But that's what rich people get to do. They get to do essentially. Now, he's also a minimalist, so that kind of gives me, a check in the authentic box for James Altucher. Because I guess you could say the luxury he purchased was going from Airbnb. But dude, that's increasingly common now for many upper middle income or just middle income guys and gals that don't have kids. Like, why do you have to? Dude, you can find some cheap hotels out there. You don't need to be in New York City paying $3,000 a month for a little hovel. That money could get you some nice Airbnbs out there or couch surfing. So the fact he's a digital nomad and had a little bit more money than the other guy and just went year to year from Airbnb, I think, why not? I don't hold that against him. But then there's the other article where he says he only owns 15 things. All right. Well, did he go begging to the government for a grant so he could study what it's like to be an Arab, like, some feminist studies major, like some liberal parasite? He didn't. He said money. I need money to go study and travel overseas. I need to study Italian wines. Government, give me money. No, I think it's legit. I'm kind of curious what made the hair on the back of your neck go up about this guy. I don't know. I know it's there's some things like, wow, you really you got managing head. How'd you get to talk to Tim Kramer? You must have had a network. You must have had connections. Did you really get into IT? And he probably was smart enough to get in Cornell. Plus, that's predating all the drive of affirmative action. But nepotism could have played a role there. I really want to know who his parents are. But kind of like Trump, he came from wealth too. But man, he took the ball and ran with it. So I can't really fault him. So there you go, James Altucher. DJ Aftershock for $2. You see, he's kind of a big picture wheeler idea guy. He's the big idea guy. He's kind of the big idea guy. Hey, he programmed and coded. He worked. I I think he put his time in. After a while, with enough experience in senior management, you end up having to be the big idea guy, but then the real work is managing your employees and kicking their asses. But it's like the 23-year-old dude, bro, with this, I'm kind of a big idea guy. Like, you guys do all, I got an idea for an app. You guys do all the programming. I'll make all the money, all right? Huh? All right, there you go. More a-hole consulting coming up along the way. Questions, answers, go to assholeconsulting.com. And this thing brought to you by Reconnaissance Man. Book about where to go. And then Cappy's going to hop on his motorcycle and get the hell out of Dodge tomorrow. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.